What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the stream, and I'm gonna tweet this out, and everything like that. So, Joshua, why don't you give us your thoughts? What were your thoughts today? Ravens big win, 34-6. Right now, the largest win margin in the NFL so far this week. What are your thoughts on this game?
Man, honestly, excuse me. Whew. I don't know if the Chargers got jet lag. I don't know what the case was, but hey, I'm glad that team showed up. I'm glad, my team went ahead. We've been saying it. Had to definitely keep their foot on the gas, couldn't let up, couldn't start slow, and that's exactly what they did not do. They didn't start off slow. They got into the run game, unfortunately, my boy Rashad didn't get the 100 yards and stuff like that. But hey, he got involved. He got his catches. It was good to see him get out there. Even the defense, it looked a little bit more sound. It was a good boost to have Deshaun Elliott out there, man, and him and Chuck Clark. Even though we call them two box safeties, they are when they're clicking on all cylinders, that's the best duo out there right now. So I love this game.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying team win. I completely agree. Out there, a lot of guys played well. Josh Bynes really stepped up. Probably the best game any linebackers played for the Ravens so far this year.
Most definitely.
Deshaun Elliott, Shamil knows what's up. First career interception. Y'all already know. Devin Duvernay, the big kick return. Justin Tucker didn't miss the kick. Horns up. You already know. This was UT's day because they had a poor day yesterday. But everyone's talking about Joey. Joey came in before the game talking about how it's going to be easy win for the Chargers. Ravens ain't putting up 20. One team didn't put up 20. That would be the Chargers. They came out flat-footed, and the Ravens came out and they started off strong, and they were very aggressive. And I think that's the way that the Ravens want to come out. They were yet this year to come out and play a good first quarter.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they actually did. And Shamil says, how are you so always on point with these predictions? Man, I just know. I just be knowing, I hit up Eric DaCosta. I'm like, hey, man, what's the plan this week? And he tells me, he's like, hey, man, we're going to win 36-35. Hey, man, Devin Duvernay's getting his first career kick return touchdown. Hey, man, Deshaun Elliott, first pick. Overall, just the Ravens came out and they stuck to the ground game. And Greg Roman, I felt like at points, he kind of Greg Roman because I saw somebody on Twitter, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, never mind. But they said basically that Greg Roman got scared of the run. Like he got bored of it. Like the Ravens, it was working so well that he got bored of it. So for a little bit, it was just like they weren't running, and they started throwing the ball, and it wasn't working as well. Like the run was working. Stick to the run a little bit more. But Shamil says at one point he abandoned the run. That's when Lamar threw the first interception. One of those interceptions. That first one was terrible. The second one not on him whatsoever. I mean, that's a great throw, bounced off the receiver's chest. But overall, the Ravens went out there and they played their game, and that's what really matters. So I don't know. What did you think about the play calling in this game?
Let's go to 1 to 10. I'll give it a 7. It was definitely better. I like like I said, me personally, I keep an eye on the passing schemes and things of that nature. They keep on progressing, they keep on getting better. I like the way I'm seeing how Lamar is reading the defense. He's pretty much picking defenses apart, especially when in his own coverage. It was good to see him get Mark Andrews involved. Yes, Marquise did drop a touchdown, but hey, he always knows how to make up for it. Whether it's yards at the catch or either getting a first down. So, we just gotta keep on rolling with the punches. Hell, even Miles Boykin caught a pass. He was on special teams a lot. So, definitely is good to see him out there. And hey, we got the dub. We got it in the new Ravens fashion with a high-powered lead and being able to relax and chill. And I was able to relax my heart and not think about them trying to come back. So, I'll take it for the day. Definitely feel like we could have passed. We definitely could have got more involved with the run game. You gotta continue going with what works.
Yeah, and for me, I felt like overall, I think Richie's 100% right. Josh Bynes played a great game. Like he was covering and he was
Inside.
tackling. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. It's not like we don't need a linebacker to go out there and be the greatest linebacker ever. We don't need Ray Lewis.
We
We
just
need
need
somebody
stop.
that's not going to make mistakes. And Shamil asking if they benched Patrick Queen. He got a little bit hurt. They threw him back out there for a little bit. He honestly wasn't playing that well. And so they just kept him out. It wasn't worth it. He was hurt a little bit, so wasn't worth playing him, especially when he's hurt. But shout out to Josh Bynes because he came out there, he made some tackles, made some plays in the passing game, and that was the biggest thing, was he made plays in the passing game, and that's what the Ravens really need.
Yeah, him and Will was definitely out there working together for sure.
Absolutely. And Julian, prayers up for Latavius and Bozeman. Give him some time off. Yeah, Latavius Murray gets hurt. Do the Ravens need a power back? Do they need to go out to the practice squad and grab themselves a Nate McCrary? I think they do.
I think it's time. I think it's about that time. Might as well. They've been giving Tyshawn a healthy free scratch. I mean, why not see what Nate can do? And in a live game. Well, not in a live game, but a regular season game against first string starters and things of that nature. I say why not? Go ahead, give him a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he's somebody that we've been looking forward to. Hopefully he's able to get out on the field. Yeah, Tristan Colon Castillo played very well. First snap, bad snap. Lamar Jackson had to one-hand it up here. Luckily, he still got the handoff off. But you know what? He still caught it. So that was tough. Bozeman, I don't think Bozeman's was a small injury. I didn't really see it. I just saw him down on the ground. But, hopefully it wasn't anything.
I was about to say, so it was when Latavius ran the ball, he ran up towards his back, and then he was dealing with Joseph in the front. So, you got 230 pounds coming behind you, hitting your back, and you got 320, 330 pounds in the front of you. So the way he landed, that was just like it was a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah. I mean, that's just hopefully he's able to be okay. Obviously, he's having a really good season.
Yeah,
Ninja says that he looked fine on the sideline, which hopefully he's completely fine. Shout out to Marlon Humphrey. He clamped on fourth down, absolutely clamped. He had a lot of great plays that he had made in this game, and I felt like he showed why he is a beast at corner. And and people may say like Anthony Averett. I'll talk about Anthony Averett for a second. Mike Williams got hurt. Okay. That's the guy that he needed to cover. Like Marlon was covering Mike Williams. Keenan Allen was with Anthony Averett. Keenan Allen was beating Anthony Averett consistently. However, when Mike Williams got hurt, Marlon switched on to Keenan Allen. And then Anthony Averett's guarding Jalen Guyton and stuff. And he's still getting beat. Herbert missed a touchdown on that play. I can't remember if it was on fourth down or not. I think it was on fourth down. He threw it, maybe it was third down. They threw it up, and Anthony Averett's underneath. Anthony Averett got beat on that play. Herbert underthrew the football. If he makes a good throw right there, that's a touchdown. I didn't think he played terribly, but he didn't play like I saw people saying like, "Oh wow, what a monster performance!" Like, no, he was getting beat. Herbert was just missing passes, and we talked about that in the pregame show.
Yeah,
Herbert is a guy where if he's off his game, he is very off, and he was visibly very off today. The Ravens got to him early when they came out firing. They got to him. And those are the types of things that can happen to Justin Herbert. And that's been his entire knock, his entire career has been that he isn't very consistent. Sometimes he'll have an amazing game. Sometimes he'll have an amazing quarter. But sometimes he'll have a really bad game. Sometimes he'll have a really bad quarter. And he was not hitting throws today. Like Marlon got beat on one of the fourth down passes. Yeah. But Herbert missed him. Like those are the type. Now, he did not get beat on the one to Mike Williams. And Jones in altitude says that he rarely had a clean pocket. Very true. The Ravens were blitzing. They were getting in his face, forcing him to beat you. And he didn't beat him. Like, that's how you have to play Justin Herbert. That's how you have to play the Chargers. You can't play scared and play off because they have good weapons. You have to make Herbert make mistakes. And he made a lot of mistakes today. Just missing passes, throwing the pick to Deshaun Elliott, the Joker. But, yeah, so those are my thoughts overall. But
somebody we didn't bring up, Adafio Way. Um, I did see him get, great upside, great potential, crazy athleticism, but skilled. Rich Slater, he did show his skill, containing him. It was a good matchup. Only thing I see, Duffy's going to get better. He's going to learn from that. I did see him running down some plays, around the fourth quarter, but for the most part, he was getting gobbled up. But I'm glad that Justin Houston, he's getting closer to that 100 sack, even though he really had it in Indianapolis, but it got called back because the horse collar. Hey, it is what it is. It was definitely good to see the front seven, really get a push and really doing their thing. I see Jelly, chasing down plays. That guy got a lot of hustle in him. Got a lot of hustle, and he looked heavier than Brandon Williams. So it's definitely good to see the front seven, play a solid game, really get after the QB. I like how the way Wink was down at those blitzes with, Chuck, and Chuck almost had a one-handed pick six. I would have loved that, But hey, even though he still got the job done and took the pass. Even with Deshaun Elliott, with the blitz. Tavon Young, they were sending him. Even Brandon Stevens, when he got in the game, he was still doing his thing, making the solid tackles and, holding on. Even though Jared Cook, they had Jared Cook out there against him, Malik Harrison. He was doing his thing, but still, these guys are going to learn from these situations, these games, and they're going to continue getting better.
Absolutely, and I think it's time we talk about the rookie. Shane says, "Welcome to the flock, Bateman." Didn't have a ton of catches, but in only 1 week, he clearly opens up this offense and is excited to see what he keeps doing for the rest of the offense going forward. Yeah, he was a chain mover today. I want to say his first 4 receptions all went for first downs. That's huge. Obviously, he had the drop. That's not something that you can, really ignore. But overall, I felt like he played solid other than that drop. He went out there and he tried to do things. Lamar tried to force it to him on that interception. Every other player that he targeted, he didn't throw a pick on. It was just Bateman. But just kidding. But overall, I felt like he played solid, and I think that he will open up this offense. So I don't know. What do you think about Bateman, Joshua?
I definitely feel like Lamar wanted to get him involved early, and just the fact that he got in the game, make the catches that he did, and even try to, extend it and, show like, hey, y'all, I'm 100%. Let me show y'all my moves. I can dance. It's nice to see that, most definitely. Because hey, we've been missing that type of power on the outside, on the opposite side of the ball, and now it's showing, it's getting. Once they continue to gel, it's good to have a young man like that on our team, especially going in this stretch of the season, because it's about to get intense. We got Cincinnati, then we got the bye week, and then we come back and play Minnesota. So it's about to get real, and so we really gonna have to be on a balance. We really gonna have to show that balanced breakfast. Offense got to continue clicking. Defense had to continue working. The special teams going to keep on doing what they're doing. So it's good to see Bateman out there doing what he's doing. He's going to get those. He's going to get those 2 touchdown 100-yard games. So hey, when he do, I need the Ravens fans in the stadium, whether home, wherever, to get the whole place rocking, because it's going to be for years to come that you hear Lamar Jackson, Hollywood, and Rashad Bateman. That's going to be a trio for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that let's talk about this. What is everybody going to think about the Baltimore Ravens after this game? What do you think that this does for that team's narrative? Because I think a lot of people are looking at the team, and I like to watch. I like to watch power ranking videos. I don't watch a lot of Ravens takes. I watch them sometimes, but after this week, I am going to watch some. I watched some after last week just to see before this game, because I knew that this would be a big game for the narratives and everything like that. And obviously, most people were talking, you know what? Chargers just got the better team. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'm going to pick the Chargers. Yeah, it's Lamar's great, all that stuff. The Ravens go out there. Statistically, it does not look like Lamar played well. Lamar did. Lamar had a good game. He controlled the game completely. Anybody that watched the game would understand he completely ran this offense almost to perfection, other than the one interception. It was great. But they're going to look at stats and they may say, like, oh, it was really the run game. Like, no, it was Lamar carrying this team. Is this a type of win that starts getting the Ravens rekindled in that AFC contention? Because everyone's like, oh, yeah, sure, they beat the Colts, but they were down to the Colts. They were down to the Lions. The Chiefs aren't that good anymore. Is this a win where people look at it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're legit?
I don't think so just yet. Because, coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, someone could say, hey, maybe the Chargers with jet lag. We know what Justin Herbert can do. Things like that. I mean, you pointed out that Justin Herbert can be streaky. So when you hear on the Max Kellermans and those shows like that, they're gonna find a way to downplay this win, and then also they're going to bring up the defensive talk as well. Yes, the defense finally played like almost a top 10 defense, but who says that they're going to play the same when it comes to play against Cincinnati, an AFC North rival, So I don't think it strengthens the narrative just yet. Somebody may even say, hey, the Ravens just been getting by. We don't. I mean, the Ravens don't win games in the most prettiest ways. We win games. We know how to get the job done. So of course we're not going to get that. That love, that praise, that talk, which me personally, I'm fine with. Let them create that narrative. They win in a most a nasty fashion. And I didn't know Adam Archuleta was doing the announcing on CBS, but seeing how he kept on talking back and forth about Lamar Jackson, and they showed a clip about how Michael Vick put him in the blender. It all makes sense now. So I don't think it's going to make the narrative any better. If anything, they'll try to trump it up for hey, these guys are coming from the West Coast. Hey, they'll just make up some reasons to make this win not as efficient or proven.
Yeah, I mean that's typically how the Ravens goes. Somebody said, let's see here, where's this? So this is the 2019 versus the Patriots win, in my opinion. I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say 2019 versus the Texans. I feel like that is the perfect comparison because the Patriots was, they're playing Brady. Ravens Patriots obviously had been a great rival in years past, but the Texans was Lamar versus Watson. Mm-hmm. Watson's got DeAndre Hopkins. This is a great offense, very explosive. The Ravens, obviously, they pretty much just have Lamar. That's how it was hyped up. Look at Herbert and his weapons. And then it's just Lamar. Can he take him down? And then not only was it Lamar playing very well, but the entire team stepped up. And they all dominated. And that's exactly what happened in that game. And that's exactly what happened in this game. And I think that's the best comparison I can make is the Texans from that year. What do you think? Do you think that's a great comp?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to say Ravens versus Patriots for the simple fact that he still had Tom Brady and you still have Bill Belichick. They got a history. I mean, they got a history of making things work. It don't matter who's on the team, as long as they got a system, as long as they had a quarterback to get it done, they were going to get it done. And as long as the Patriots had a solid defense, this you're talking about a young gun style team. No, Lamar never played against Justin Herbert in college, but hey, just like you said, and against the Texans, Lamar did play against Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson had his number in college, but after the game, Lamar said, "Hey, he had me in college, but I got him in the NFL." So yeah, I definitely would say that's the best comp.
Yeah, and Peter, this is a great point. Just a reminder, it's only one bye week, and we beat Kansas City and the Chargers. Only the Bills are in our way. Yeah, I think that this game is not only massive for the Ravens, just winning the game, but for end of season, playoff races.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Ravens, they beat the Chiefs. Chiefs still, I think, are a really solid team. Yeah, they have 3 losses. Whatever. It's still the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they just broke even.
But beating the Chargers are winning their division right now. Even if the Raiders win today, even if the Broncos win, it's going to be 4-2. I think the Chargers probably hold the tiebreaker because they're 2-0 in their division. It's the Bills who play the Titans, a tough matchup this week for them because the Titans, obviously great running team, and they're getting back Julio and A.J. Brown. But the Ravens, sole possession of the AFC North. They play against the Bengals next week. And then, we'll see what happens with this Cleveland Cardinals game, but this is a massive week for the Ravens because 3 weeks ago, it was looking like, oh, wow, the Ravens barely beat the Lions. Like, the Browns are looking really good. Are they really going to be able to be in the mix by the end of the year? Because the Steelers, I still think the Steelers are good. I think people are really overlooking the Steelers. And so I feel like they're going to be in contention. And every win matters, but getting a win against a team that beat the Browns, I think is going to be even bigger than that. Just for the fact that like, hey, this team beat a rival of ours, and we smacked the living bloop out of them. But now, can you go on and translate that to a win in Cincinnati? Because don't overlook Cincinnati. The Ravens cannot do that. Cincinnati's this very solid team, very potent offense. Can't overlook them, but they got to go in there and put up some points and go into the bye week with one loss. Because the Ravens, after a bye week, are typically a very good football team.
And it's coming at the right time, honestly. It's coming at the right time.
Absolutely.
So, it is. I mean, we said it. Week one, yeah, we was a little worried, but at the end of the day, it was still week one. Surprisingly, they got it together against Kansas City because I think, you and I both kind of was, accepting the fact that we did lose to Kansas City, but still, pulled out a great season. But what they do, they shut us up, came out, did their thing. These other games pretty close, but guess what? We still won. Today, won it in Ravens fashion. Now, when we get to the playoffs, the thing is, which team do we get in the playoffs? Do we get, this high-powered, know how to win, know how to make the comeback type of team, or we got here, we're happy, and we're going to fold? I mean, I know it's too early to predict, but, like you said, Kansas City's going to be in the playoffs. Tennessee's going to be in the playoffs. The Bills going to be in the playoffs. Hell, I'll get Pittsburgh. I'll let Pittsburgh possibly slip in. Even the Browns going to be in there. So it's going to be a lot of good teams. It's going to be a lot of good games come this year's playoffs.
Yeah, and people are saying like, oh, the Steelers aren't that good. Who did the Steelers beat this year? The Bills. Like, the Steelers have not been, until last week, they had not been playing the right type of football. They weren't running the football until last week. And then they were like, you know what? This Najee guy, who's a great running back, let's actually give him the ball. And they dominated with him on the ground against a very good front seven in the Denver Broncos. I feel like tonight, Sunday Night Football, yeah, the Seahawks are banged up. I'm not expecting it to be a great game. But I think the Steelers are going to go out there and show like, hey, this offense, it's, unfortunately as a Ravens fan, because obviously I don't want the Steelers to be good, I feel like it's going to get that offense to start clicking. And if the Browns lose today and the Steelers win, the Steelers are in third place in the AFC North, and they're at 3-3. Like, it's not like the Steelers are sitting here at 1-5. It's like, oh no, they could come through. No, they're 2-3, and they're getting to play a relatively easy opponent in the Seattle Seahawks because they're injured, and they're getting to play. I believe they're playing it in Pittsburgh. Like, I feel like it's going to be very difficult. And you got to make sure that you got to extend that lead against them, because Steelers play the Ravens very tough. Browns play the Ravens very tough. The Bengals play the Ravens very tough. So the Ravens have to make sure that they are able to continue this team's momentum, because right now they're on a 5-game win streak.
Yep, absolutely.
5-game win streak. And I talked about it. That's why I said my prediction for the Ravens season was 14-3, because I was like, this team's going to get hot. And I feel like this is the type of game, this Chargers game. I feel like the Colts game, that was like Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Then this next game, that was like the Texans. And I'm pretty sure we played the Texans before Seattle, but that's besides the point. I'm just talking about like the impact it has on the team. Like, this is just a massive win for them. Carry that momentum into the bye, and then come out of the bye, play the Vikings tough, and then get into that difficult stretch playing some good football. And luckily they are playing good football right now.
So we haven't played an NFC team yet so far.
We played Detroit, but Detroit's They're not a good NFC team.
Okay. So I know we got the Rams later this year.
Yes, we have the Rams, but we're playing the NFC North would be our division. We're playing Vikings, Packers, Bears, and we already played the Lions.
Okay, so out of those teams, because yes, I know it's only week 6, y'all, but hey, we're Ravens fans. We sometimes can see into the future. And the Ravens do make it to the Super Bowl. Who out of this, out of this group in our schedule can you see us, possibly facing? And which game do you think will be, I guess you could say, the make it or kind of break it game now?
I want to look at the schedule for this one. I'm going to say it's either the Packers or the Rams, but I want to see when the games are. Let's see here.
You play the Rams week 17.
Week 17 and week 15. I'm going to say the Packers game because that's coming after Browns, Steelers, Browns, and then the Packers. I feel like that right there, that is the finale of a very difficult 4-game stretch. And the Bears are before that. Bears are still a difficult team to play. Great defense. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say the Packers because the Ravens play the Bengals. And yes, the Bengals are solid, but I think the Packers are going to be the one that the Ravens look at as this is the biggest one. And the Packers are a team where you can wipe the floor with them. If you bully the Packers, they can get destroyed. And we saw that week 1 this year. We saw that, I want to say, week 3 or week 4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. We saw it when the Packers played the Chargers last year. If they get out physicaled, they will completely fall over. And if the Ravens can out physical them, that sets a precedent for the playoffs. That sets a precedent for their game against their game against the Rams, their final game against the Steelers. That needs to be a game where the Ravens show that they can be a physical, dominant football team. Because going into the playoffs, they may have to play a Browns. They may have to play a Derrick Henry and the Titans. They may have to play a Bills. Got to be physical if you want to beat those teams.
Can I agree with you more? I mean, yeah, that Packers game. I mean, and then Aaron Rodgers have that Tom Brady effect. If you have an Aaron Rodgers, if you have a Russell Wilson, if you have a Tom Brady, hell, even if you have a Matthew Stafford, it's a possibility you can still win the game because you have those type of caliber quarterbacks leading your team. So I definitely, I definitely can agree with that. And, Green Bay is coming out with creativity. I mean, hell, I saw the shovel pass today and, I think they pulled it out. And Aaron Rodgers, like, just because he knows this is last year in Green Bay, he's definitely like he's just having fun out there now. Carefree, not worried. Like, hey, man, we're going to get some wins, but I'm not really worried. My guys is out there with me. We're going to have some fun. And that's exactly what he's, that's exactly what it looked like he's out there doing, man. So I definitely would say the Packers game could be that, that statement game. Especially that's a good NFC team that we're going to play against. I'm not going to say the Bears are not. They're definitely a growing team as well with Justin Fields and that defense as well. But I kind of would take my my slighted defense over their offense because you're not going to know they're not utilizing Justin Fields correctly out there in Chicago. So I'm not going to count them out, but I feel like our defense can get the best of him, and we do pretty solid against rookie QBs.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I feel like this is a good spot to wrap it up. More NFL games are happening. Hopefully the Cardinals are able to pull it out against the Browns. Raiders are playing the Denver Broncos. Hopefully the Broncos win that for tiebreaker purposes. But thanks, everybody, for coming to the stream. Make sure to come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about the game. But thank you. I'll see all of you again.